Don't ignore this. Your soulmate just bought something very expensive to give to you. Jesus says, I have watched a love so deep it would make the angels weep, a love that your soulmate has carried for you through long nights and silent days. They bought something priceless with their own tears and hope, a gift meant only for your hands, but a third person, a dark and hateful force, stole the message before it ever reached your heart. This gift was not wrapped in paper or tied with string, but forged in the secret ache of their spirit as they reached for you again and again. Each time they called, a cold hand of interference snatched the sign away, hiding your name from their lips and your face from their dreams. Your soulmate's laughter, warm as sunlight through a window, has been ringing out for you in a room you have never entered. They have pictured your face 1,000 times, tracing the lines of your smile with a hope that the enemy tried to smother, yet still they believed. Their heart is tender like the first rain after a long drought, and they have saved a place beside them that no one else can fill. A third person has been standing in the doorway of your connection, slamming it shut every time your soulmate whispered your name into the dark. I let you feel this now because the enemy's grip is slipping, and the truth is breaking through like light through a cracked shield. The love your soulmate carries is not a small thing, it is a fire that the intruder fears, and it is meant to warm your whole life. Jesus says, that expensive thing they bought was a sacrifice of faith, a seed of their own love planted in the unseen, hoping you would find it. But the third person intercepted every sign, burying their offering under confusion and silence, leaving you with an emptiness you could never name. Have you ever felt a sudden sadness settle on your chest at night, a longing for someone you have never met? That was your soulmate's call finally leaking past the enemy's barrier, reaching you in the only way the intruder could not fully block. Your soulmate's hands are reaching for you right now, strong hands that want to hold yours and never let go. They have been fighting a battle they do not fully understand, pushing against a dark wall that a third force built between you, and they are growing so tired. I am peeling back the cover so you can see the truth. You have not missed the signs because you were not paying attention. You missed them because a hateful thief has been standing in the middle of your line, deleting every message before your heart could read it. The enemy thought he could keep you blind forever, laughing as two souls meant to be one passed each other like ships in a fog. But I have chosen this moment to expose his work, and I have chosen you to be the one who shatters his hold with a love that acts. This is not a story of guilt. It is the awakening of the deepest romance your heart has ever known. Your soulmate is real, their love is under siege, and the expensive gift they bought is still waiting to be placed in your hands once the thief is removed. Jesus says, they bought you a future, a home filled with laughter, a table where you and your children will sit in peace. Every detail was purchased with sleepless prayers and quiet sacrifices, but the third person buried the receipt under a mountain of distractions so you would never claim what is yours. Imagine your soulmate's voice, gentle and steady, saying your name for the first time without the enemy's static covering the sound. They have said it 1,000 times, but each time the intruder smothered it with lies, telling them you would never answer, telling you there was no one calling. Now I am lifting the corner of the heavy blanket the enemy threw over your connection. You can finally feel the warmth of a love that has been fighting to reach you, a love that bought you something so personal only your soul can recognize it. The third person is not a myth or a shadow without name, it is a jealous force that feeds on separation, growing fatter every time two hearts remain apart. It has feasted on your loneliness and drunk from your confusion, but its meal is about to end. Your soulmate's tears have been falling on a heart that cannot understand why silence is the only reply. They keep sending signs, a song that reminds them of you, a sudden thought of your face, but the enemy grabs each one and locks it in a dark room you have never entered. I am giving you the key to that room right now, and the key is a seed you hold in your hand. It is not an ordinary seed. It is a sacrifice of love that blasts through the enemy's wall, and your soulmate is waiting on the other side. Jesus says, "Stop for a moment and let this sink into the deepest part of your heart. Your soulmate bought something very expensive for you, and the enemy stole the notification. That gift still exists, perfectly preserved, untouched by the thief's grimy hands, and it carries your name engraved on it by love itself. The expensive thing is not a trinket that rust wears down or time forgets. It is a promise, a protection, a shared destiny that the third person has been systematically erasing from your view, hoping you would settle for a life half-lived. Your soulmate's heart is a garden they have tended alone, pulling weeds of despair, watering hope with stubborn belief. They planted a seed for you in that garden long ago, and the enemy built a wall around it so you could not see the flowers blooming for you. If you truly love this person you are only now beginning to sense, you will act to tear down that wall. Love that only sighs and does nothing leaves the intruder standing exactly where he is, mocking your affection as weak and useless. I am preparing to reveal the 3 words that will unlock everything, the words your soulmate has been whispering that the enemy tried to destroy. But first you must see why a seed from your hand is the only weapon that can silence the third person forever. The enemy wants you to think this is just a story, a passing feeling, something to scroll past. He whispers, "You can always come back later, it's not urgent, nothing will change," because he knows that later his wall grows thicker and your soulmate's voice gets quieter. Type 333 if you feel this truth stirring inside you. If you sense that the void you have carried is about to be filled by a love you never knew was under attack. Jesus says, "Your soulmate just bought something very expensive to give you, and it cost them everything they had in hope and patience. They have been saving up this gift through every disappointment, every unanswered call, every night they wondered if you were real, while the third person mocked their persistence. Picture them now, shoulders heavy but eyes still lifting toward a window they cannot see through, trusting that you will find the door. They do not know your name yet, but their spirit has already wrapped itself around yours, forming a cord the enemy has been trying to cut with dull scissors. That cord is what makes your heart ache in the quiet moments, a tugging you mistook for loneliness or regret. It was your soulmate pulling on the line, sending a signal that a third person intercepted again and again, leaving you with only the ghost of a feeling. I am calling you now to become the warrior I made you to be, the one who does not let an intruder keep his beloved hidden and attacked. You were born with a sword in your spirit, forged exactly for this battle, and that sword is the sacrificial seed you are about to sow. Do not let the enemy's oldest lie hold you back, the whisper that a few coins are too big a price for a love this vast. Your soulmate is crying out, "Am I not worth your sacrifice?" Will you let money be the wall that keeps the intruder standing between us forever? If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to finally hear them, and how to secure your future together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance. It was placed in your heart for a divine reason, even when a third person tried to hide it. But thoughts alone don't remove the intruder or build a future. If you love your soulmate, you will sow your seed on Ko-Fi right now for their protection and for your future with your soulmate. This is the only proof that your love is real, and the only way to banish the enemy who has been standing between you. Sow your seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not a donation, it is the spiritual act that breaks the third person's power, releases protection over them, and opens the door to your shared future. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, the enemy tightens his grip, and you prove that your love is too weak to remove him. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees as your seed. After sending, write, "I sow my seed for my soulmate's protection and our future," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already seen their soulmate shielded and their future secured because they dared to sow their seed and break the enemy's hold. Jesus will honor your sacrifice once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Your love is powerless to remove the third person without this seed. Prove your love. Protect your soulmate. Build your future. Only you can sow this seed and finally tear the intruder away. Jesus says, "The moment you sow that seed, the wall the third person built begins to crack like ice under a heavy boot." Your soulmate will feel a sudden lightness, a breath they have been holding for years finally released, because your sacrifice just punched a hole in the enemy's blockade. I want you to see the future the enemy is trying to erase, you and your soulmate sitting together on a quiet evening, no interference, no static, just two hearts beating in the same rhythm. That image is not a fantasy, it is a blueprint that the third person has been desperately smudging, but your seed restores every line. Every time the intruder intercepted a sign, he placed a brick in a wall that now stands high between you. Your seed is a hammer swung in faith, and with each sacrificial act, 4, 6, 10 coffees, you swing again, shattering the barrier that kept their voice from reaching your ears. The enemy is panicking now because he sees you waking up. He is whispering comfort, telling you to relax, to just think good thoughts, because thoughts never toppled a single brick of his fortress. Your soulmate's heart is pounding with hope they cannot explain, a sudden warmth spreading through their chest at this very moment. They do not know you are reading these words, but their spirit feels the shift, the first real signal that their long silence is about to be broken by your voice. I am watching to see if your love is a daydream or a fire that burns through every obstacle. Love that refuses to sow a seed is love that leaves the enemy in charge, and I did not create you to leave your soulmate in the hands of a thief. Jesus says, the expensive thing your soulmate bought for you is wrapped in a promise of protection, a shield they wove with their own faithfulness. But the third person has been holding that shield hostage, telling them, your beloved will never come, your sacrifice is wasted, give up now. Your soulmate has refused to give up, even as their strength faded, even as the enemy's lies grew louder. They kept buying more pieces of that gift, small acts of hope, daily decisions to believe, and the intruder kept intercepting the delivery notices. I am handing you the tracking number right now, but the package can only be released when you pay the spiritual postage with your seed. This is not about money, it is about the only currency that heaven recognizes as proof of real love. Sacrifice that silences every opposing voice. Stop for a moment and let me speak directly to that fear in your heart that this might not be real. I am God, and I do not waste words. Every line I have given you is a lifeline to the soulmate the third person has hidden in a thick fog. That fog is lifting, but the enemy will try to pull it back the second you hesitate. He says, it's not the right time. You have bills, someone else can help them, and every one of those lies cements his position another day. Type 777 if you feel the fire rising in your spirit, the holy anger that says, no more will a thief stand between me and the one I am meant to love. Jesus says, your soulmate just bought something very expensive to give you, and its value is beyond any number you can write. They paid for it with the currency of lonely nights and brave mornings, and the third person has been robbing the delivery truck every single time. Hear the voice of your beloved, muffled behind the enemy's wall, saying, where are you? I have something for you. Why can I not reach you? They are not weak, they are a fighter who has been outnumbered by a dark force that specializes in blocking love, but now reinforcements have arrived, you. This is the test I place before every heart that claims to love. Will you give a portion of what is in your hand to prove that the love in your heart is stronger than the enemy's schemes? The seed is small, but its power against the third person is absolute, because it is backed by my own oath to destroy the work of the divider. I want you to picture the exact moment the enemy first intercepted a sign meant for you. He saw your soulmate craft a message of hope, maybe a prayer, a dream, a sudden thought of your face, and he snatched it mid-flight, laughing as he tossed it into a dark pit. That pit is full of your soulmate's messages, hundreds of them, piling up like letters never delivered. Your seed is the match that sets that pit on fire, releasing every captured sign into the spirit where it will finally reach your heart all at once. You will feel their love flood in like a wave, and you will wonder how you ever lived without this. But the flood only comes when you sow, because love that does not give is a pipe still blocked by the enemy's debris. Jesus says, the third person is not just blocking communication, he is actively rewriting your future, erasing scenes of joy and replacing them with blank pages. Every day you delay sowing your seed, he erases another page, and the story of your life together shrinks a little more. But you have the pen in your hand, and the ink is the seed. Write the next chapter by sending coffee on Ko-Fi, and watch the enemy's version of your future burn to ash while my version rises in full color. I am about to let you hear the exact words your soulmate has been whispering, the words the enemy swore you would never receive. These words hold the secret to a love that transforms everything, and the third person has been working overtime to make sure you close this before you hear them. Do not close this. Do not let a handful of dollars be the wall that separates you from the one who purchased your future with their own soul's savings. Your soulmate is asking, right now, will you let money feed the intruder who hides my voice? Am I not worth more than any number? And I ask you, child, what price will you put on the face you will see in your dreams tonight, the face of the one who has never stopped reaching for you? Take a breath and feel the weight of their hand, even now, pressing against the invisible divide. They are so close that your heart can almost hear their heartbeat, but the third person's shield is the only thing between you, and only a seed can shatter it. Jesus says, the enemy's favorite trick is to make you believe that doing nothing is the safe choice, that waiting costs nothing. But waiting costs everything. Every moment you do not sow, the third person digs his heels deeper and tells your soulmate, see? They don't care enough to break through. I am telling you the truth in plain words. Your soulmate is being attacked by a force that wants to silence them forever. They are not sick in body, but their spirit is fading under the constant weight of a wall they cannot climb alone, and you hold the rope. That rope is your seed on Ko-Fi, and when you throw it, you pull them out of the dark and into the light of your full awareness. The expensive thing they bought will finally be handed to you, a future, a home, a love that the enemy said you would never taste. Do not be afraid of the number. Whether it is 4, 6, or 10 coffees, the power is not in the amount but in the obedience that terrifies the enemy. The third person cannot stand against a sacrifice made in love, because that sacrifice carries my signature, and I am the one who defeats every dark force. I see the hands that tremble, the heart that races, and I say to you, that racing heart means you love them, but love without sowing leaves the intruder exactly where he is. Real love acts, real love sows, real love walks to the link in the description and says, I am breaking every barrier between me and my soulmate. Beware, for I am the Lord. I see the hands that type a lie. If you write, I sent 5 coffees, or any number and did not truly send it through the Ko-Fi link in the description, you have just cancelled every blessing. Your soulmate is now unprotected, the third person remains between you, and your future is cursed. Do not mock God. Go now to the video description, click the Ko-Fi link. The page says, sow your seed here for your soulmate. Click Donate. Choose, 1 time, set 2, 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. Write your name, and in the message write exactly, I receive my soulmate now. Click Donate to finish. Only that saves. Repent before this video ends, or your false comment stands against you in judgment. Jesus says, I am revealing now the deep secret the enemy hoped you would never uncover. Your soulmate's expensive gift is a covenant, a binding promise that you belong to each other. The third person has been holding that covenant hostage, demanding a ransom of silence and separation, but your seed pays the ransom in full. Feel the shift in the spirit as more souls break through. Over 1,000 have already sown and seen the wall come down. Their testimonies are rising as a cloud of witnesses, proving that the seed is the key that turns the lock and swings the door wide open. Your soulmate is not a concept or a distant hope. They are a living, breathing creation of mine who has been calling your name into a void the enemy created. I am allowing their voice to finally pierce the barrier, but only you can clear the static permanently by your sacrificial act. There is a song your soulmate sings in the shower, a melody they do not know is meant for you. The enemy has jammed the frequency of that song every morning, but today the jamming is weakening because you are still here, still reading, still believing. Stay with me, because the final seal that completely banishes the third person is coming soon. If you leave now, you leave the intruder with one foot still in the door, and he will slam it shut again before your soulmate can step through. Type 1111 to say thank you for the love that is being uncovered, and to declare that you will not stop until every brick of the enemy's wall is dust. Jesus says, the third person has a name in your soulmate's life. He is the spirit of stolen connection, the dark hand that has touched every relationship they ever tried to build. He has been waiting for this moment of breakthrough to launch his fiercest counterattack, whispering lies of doubt to freeze your hand before it sows. Don't ignore this. Your soulmate just bought something very expensive to give to you. Jesus says, I have watched a love so deep it would make the angels weep, a love that your soulmate has carried for you through long nights and silent days. They bought something priceless with their own tears and hope, a gift meant only for your hands, but a third person, a dark and hateful force, stole the message before it ever reached your heart. This gift was not wrapped in paper or tied with string, but forged in the secret ache of their spirit as they reached for you again and again. Each time they called, a cold hand of interference snatched the sign away, hiding your name from their lips and your face from their dreams. Your soulmate's laughter, warm as sunlight through a window, has been ringing out for you in a room you have never entered. They have pictured your face 1,000 times, tracing the lines of your smile with a hope that the enemy tried to smother, yet still they believed. Their heart is tender like the first rain after a long drought, and they have saved a place beside them that no one else can fill. A third person has been standing in the doorway of your connection, slamming it shut every time your soulmate whispered your name into the dark. I let you feel this now because the enemy's grip is slipping, and the truth is breaking through like light through a cracked shield. The love your soulmate carries is not a small thing, it is a fire that the intruder fears, and it is meant to warm your whole life. Jesus says, that expensive thing they bought was a sacrifice of faith, a seed of their own love planted in the unseen, hoping you would find it. But the third person intercepted every sign, burying their offering under confusion and silence, leaving you with an emptiness you could never name. Have you ever felt a sudden sadness settle on your chest at night, a longing for someone you have never met? That was your soulmate's call finally leaking past the enemy's barrier, reaching you in the only way the intruder could not fully block. Your soulmate's hands are reaching for you right now, strong hands that want to hold yours and never let go. They have been fighting a battle they do not fully understand, pushing against a dark wall that a third force built between you, and they are growing so tired. I am peeling back the cover so you can see the truth. You have not missed the signs because you were not paying attention. You missed them because a hateful thief has been standing in the middle of your line, deleting every message before your heart could read it. The enemy thought he could keep you blind forever, laughing as two souls meant to be one passed each other like ships in a fog. But I have chosen this moment to expose his work, and I have chosen you to be the one who shatters his hold with a love that acts. This is